So, you've passed your resignation papers and now you're turning over with your previous employer. But you're wondering, what am I supposed to be doing right now?
Just like our reader Luchiel, who asks, I just want to clarify things regarding my resignation. My employer asked me to present a report to the board of directors because my manager can't report it. Am I allowed to decline because I'm just an associate? Second, should I just do my turnover and clearance during this period and not do the business as usual because I already have a replacement? May kapalit na kasi.
Mhm.
Okay, so thank you for answering and I really need some advice.
If you're thinking the same thing, stick around as we tackle these questions today.
This episode is brought to you by the Complete Employee Discipline System, a book that teaches owners, managers, and supervisors how to handle any offense easily and systematically. It provides step by step procedures from incident reports all the way to the clearance process. Stand your ground and discipline with confidence. Go to info.legalguide.ph/discipline to learn more. Welcome to Legal Guide Philippines, where we simplify the law to help you make better choices. I'm attorney Ramon Ramirez and I'm with my partner,
Attorney Erwin Zagala.
so, today we're talking about employment purgatory.
Aba,
that
medyo kakaiba yan, Attorney Ramon.
So ano ba yung employment purgatory? That's the part of being an employee where you're neither here nor there.
Pag naririnig ko yung purgatory, gusto ko na ilabas yung novena book.
So parang, diba, palabas ka na kasi, no? So you're one foot outside pero hindi ka pa totally outside and hindi ka man naman totally nandun sa labas.
In the same way, ang feeling mo, hindi ka regular na empleyado na,
Yes.
I'm not like you.
Right.
And yet, hindi pa ako labas.
Yes.
Di ba? So, may beat-in factor. So, I think, it's very telling to describe it as purgatory. Kasi yeah, you're neither in earth or in heaven or hell.
Oh, tama. It's just okay.
Oo.
Or parang limbo, no? Or parang limbo.
Parang limbo,
Yes.
pwede. Palutang-lutang ka lang doon. But, ito ngayon yung tanong na pinagmumula natin for this episode is, what do you do habang palutang-lutang ka doon?
Yun,
Diba?
magandang tanong yan, Attorney Erwin.
And maganda yung tanong na sinabit sa atin. Kasi, in this case, parang sinasabihan siya na, uy, alam ko pa turnover ka na, pero mag-report ka pa rin. I think mabigat yung report.
Mabigat because it looks like the board of directors ang pagre-reportan, right? And these are sila yung boss ng company. Right?
I think I have some ideas bakit siya ang pinagre-report kahit napalabas siya.
Bakit, attorney?
Possibly this employee, the reader, was the one involved in the project heavily.
Possibly.
So, kung sakaling may mga itatanong yung board of directors, possibly siya lang yung pwedeng sumagot doon. So, kahit napa-turnover na, siya pa rin ang sinalang.
Involved pa rin siya.
Yes.
And I guess that's it shows how much she is trusted, si Luchiel, no? By her manager.
But at the same time, siya naman on her side, she's thinking, ipaalis na ako eh.
Yes.
Medyo mabigat yung assignment na binibigay ninyo. Bakit sa akin pa? Bakit ako pa?
Yeah, I'm just doing my turnover.
Oo. By the way, may replacement na ako.
Yeah, right. She said that she already has a replacement. Why does it still have to be me?
Well, we've gone through this before, reporting to the board of directors, mabigat nga naman. And for someone who's already of the mindset na paalis na ako, so I should be shedding responsibilities paunti-unti, I think that's where the frustration is coming in. Bakit ako pa yung sinasalang dito?
Tama.
So, to help people in that situation, those na lumulutang in limbo, we'll tackle it piece by piece. And I will start out with, what is the status during your employment turnover? Yan, di ba?
Purgatory nga, attorney.
While in purgatory, ano ba talaga yung latag? Pwede pa ba akong utusan? Or should I be taking on assignments like this? Let us make something very clear. During the turnover period, you are still employed. You are still being paid. You are still reporting. Therefore, wala po tayong karapatan to say no to whatever tasks are assigned to you during this time. Because at the end of the day, even if you're already doing the turnover, walang pinagkaiba sa normal na empleyado. You are still an employee. just an employee doing a turnover.
Nice.
So to do a quick answer, yes, dear reader, pwede ka pa rin utusan talaga to do the report because that's one of your responsibilities as an employee. Diba?
Yep. So walang basically nothing's changed except na you're just doing additional turnover and your employment will stop at some point very soon. Tama ba?
And being an employee during this turnover, don't think, ito kasi malaking misconception to. Paalis na ako hindi na ako pwedeng malagyan ng violation or immune na ako sa mga policies. No, 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 no. In terms of the looking at it from a legal perspective, wala po kayo talagang pinagkaiba sa normal na empleyado. So, bilang normal na empleyado, you are still um, under the same rules and principles. You are still under the same restrictions. Ang akala kasi nung iba, Attorney Ramon, paalis na ako eh. Hindi na ako pwedeng tabla ng ng notice to explain. Ang masasabi ko, sino po may sabi sa inyo? Doesn't work. Kunwari, magpapalate na ako. Sagad. Kasi paalis na ako eh. Doesn't work. Wala po kayong pinagkaiba sa normal na empleyado. So, act accordingly. Okay? Now, having said that, let us give you guys some tips on what to do during limbo.
Okay.
Di ba?
Sige, Tony.
So habang nasa limbo ka, how do you make things easy for yourself and for your team? So first off, ang tip namin, be helpful.
Okay.
Be helpful to whomever you can be helpful to. When I say helpful, wag na ninyo pahirapan yung mga iiwanan ninyong katrabaho.
So, not just your boss, but also your coworkers.
Okay. So kung kunwari may mga pending na project sa'yo, baka naman pwedeng ipunin mo na yung mga paperwork para kapag binigay sa coworker mo, napakadali. It can be indexed or you can just create an Excel file. Ito yung mga ito-turn over ko, di ba? Para hindi naman parang, sige, basta lahat ng project na hawak ko, iniwan ko sa lamesa ko, bahala na kayo dyan.
There's actually in some companies, even in the companies that I came from, we have a turnover form. So lahat ng stuff that parang list of pending jobs.
Ayun.
So meron kaming list of pending jobs. Ito yung status bago ako umalis, and these are the things that you need to do next. Parang ganun.
Kung sakaling ako yung immediate superior, ako makakatanggap nun, that will make life so much easier kasi it's easier to delegate. Ito pala yung mga natitira.
Tama.
So if you can do that, I think your soon-to-be former workmates would appreciate it so much. Next, kung sakali naman na utusan ka o do an inventory of this, blah, 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 kung may hindi sila naiisip, try to be proactive about it. Kung may mga nakikita ka na, I think they will find it easier to handle it with this kind of information or with this document, ibigay na po ninyo. Try to be proactive. Kahit hindi pa hinihingi, ibigay na ninyo.
Right.
Your former workmates will appreciate that so much.
And it says something about you. If you really cared about what you were doing and you were passionate about your job or whatever, or just the responsibilities given to you, diba, you would want to ensure na pag alis mo, maayos. And it will, kumbaga matatapos yung project kung hindi pa tapos, diba? And hindi mahihirapan yung mga kasama mo. So, for me, it really talks to your character if you become proactive in helping, diba?
Ibang usapan kapag aalis with bad blood.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Well, bahala ka na, di ba? Whatever you do, parang our only advice is kaya mo dapat panindigan. Di ba? If you want to sabotage or pahirapan, well, may repercussions yan at the end, which we will discuss later.
Yep.
Next, I want to talk about dealing with your replacement. Okay.
Paano ba dapat?
So, ako, ang advice ko sa students, sa clients who are in this situation, as much as possible, try to help out as much as you can. Yun nga, yun sa documents, orientation, bigyan na ninyo ng tips.
Okay. But, diba, won't HR do that already? may orientation na, and may onboarding na.
There are some things kasi that HR can handle as a generic orientation, applicable to all employees. But there are certain things which apply specifically to certain positions. Na tipong, oh, ganito ang style dyan. Unahin mo na muna yung paperwork before you do your field work or something like that, di ba? Kung ano yung pwede niyo itulong dun sa replacement, go ahead and do it. They will definitely appreciate it. And ako from experience, nakakarating sa mga superiors na you did a good job in making the transition easier for the replacement.
Pero attorney, hindi ba parang ano yun? Parang dapat alam na ng replacement yan. Kaya nga siya yung kinuhang replacement eh. Dapat magaling din siya tulad ko.
Hopefully so. Di ba? Hopefully so. Kaya lang, kung i-assume mo na ganun and then parang you try to hinder, I think that also speaks to the character of the person leaving. Parang, ano ka, insecure?
Yeah.
Kasi gusto mo, ikaw lang yung magaling. Kaya hindi mo ituturo. Ay, secret ko to eh.
Yeah. Ito yung mga best practices ko but I won't share it with you.
Para pag nakumpara, sasabihin nila,
ako pa rin na magaling.
Magaling yung umalis eh. Di ba? Hina ka naman.
Pangit.
Well,
pangit.
If you are kind of medyo sumasagi yung thinking mo to that, I invite you to take a look. Ano yung motivations behind it? Baka kasi a little bit of insecurity is rearing its head.
Or a lot of insecurity.
So we advise against that. Now, let's talk about what not to do.
Okay.
Ito yung mga from experience, nakikita natin with clients, with students, and even with workmates before, di ba? Ang pinaka-iniiwasan should be the bahala na kayo dyan attitude.
Right.
Paalis na ako eh. Bahala na kayo dyan. Nasaan yung document na ganito? Bahala na kayo dyan.
Tama.
Na-advise na ba yung kliyente na ganito? Bahala na kayo dyan.
Pangit again.
Pangit eh. Again, it's a reflection on you.
Yeah.
Ako, I would think twice about leaving that kind of impression.
Yeah, kasi parang again, character, 'di ba? Parang this was your job for X number of years.
Sabihin na natin 10 years.
This was your job for 10 years.
10 years exemplary performance. The best employee. And then last 2 weeks.
Wala na. You just don't care. And wala lang. Bahala na kayo dyan. I don't care about what's gonna happen. Problemahin nyo na yan.
Diba? Ito malungkot dyan. 10 years of doing a good job, last 2 weeks, yun yung maaalala ng workmates mo.
Yes.
Nilaglag mo sila.
True.
Diba? True. So, sayang naman yung 10 years na nagtanim ka, trying to be a perfect employee, and yet, yung maaalala pa, yung bad impression na naiwan mo.
Tama. Agree. Another thing is, that what not to do that I would suggest is not to lie during your exit interviews. So usually dito sa pagpalabas na kayo, diyan na rin ginagawa yung ng HR yung exit interviews nila, di ba? And we've experienced a lot whether in our work or some of our clients na the employee doesn't tell the truth, no? Kasi tatanungin ng HR, ano ba usually tinatanong? Why are you leaving? How was your experience?
Is there anything we could have improved?
Yeah,
para hindi ka sana umalis?
And a lot of times, the employees just pretend na, no, everything's good. I just have to do this thing. Pero everything's fine. When in fact, there's a lot of things that the company can improve. Diba? So, I would suggest to go into the exit interview with a good heart, diba? And a good intention. Na kung tinanong kayo,
or simply sincere.
Yeah,
sincere exactly. Heart.
Yeah, so just tell them if there's something that they need to improve or something that was lacking, please tell them so that they can so the organization can improve as well. Yun.
Pero also don't go to the other extreme. Paalis na ako, ilalaglag ko na ang pwedeng ilaglag dito.
Sasabihin ko na lang lahat ng sama ng loob ko.
To the point na exaggerated naman.
Yes.
Huwag din naman gano'n. Paalis ka na nga lang, nag-iwan ka pa ng bomba. Huwag naman gano'n. And more so, kung sakaling hindi naman totoo. Kawawa naman yung sisiraan mo. So, don't do that. Another thing is, dun sa pag-turnover, make sure that it's a complete turnover. Baka naman may iniipit ka na project na may kulang ka or hindi ka nagawa.
Or may pasabog na parang hindi na asikaso.
Kaya ka pala nagre-resign.
So,
lalabas.
Yeah. So, don't withhold or conceal anything before you... tama ba, attorney?
lahat ng you think makakatulong sa remaining team, please endorse it properly. That way, they can work on it ng maayos. Kawawa rin eh, kawawa rin. Finally, ang iniiwasan sana when you are in limbo is yung pag-iwas sa work.
O, paano yun, attorney?
Ang tawag dyan, pasa load.
Pasa load.
may inassign, di ba? Pasa na. Unless specifically told by your immediate superior, it's not under our discretion kasi na.
Or if you already have the replacement, pwede naman, but you guide pa rin the replacement.
Pero kung sakali may pinapagawa specifically sa iyo, because ikaw yung may capability, kagaya nung sa nagtanong sa atin, di ba? Na mag-report ka dyan sa board. Take it on.
Yeah.
Take it on. Kasama pa rin kasi sa trabaho yan within the next 30 days. Finally, may hindi rin dapat gawin.
Okay.
May mga nagtatampo dahil ayaw payagang gamitin yung mga remaining leaves.
I remember that, terminal leave, diba? That's what you call it?
Kasi pa-terminate na.
Pa-terminate.
Now,
terminal leave.
Here's something that you guys need to understand. The 30 days, walang pinagkaiba, diba? You're supposed to be reporting. Now, kung may natitira pang leave, pwede namang ipaalam. Take note of my words. I choose them very carefully. Ipaalam kung pwedeng i-avail. Kung bawas naman yung mga kailangan i-turnover, I'm sure the management will allow you to do so. Kasi bawas din yung babayaran sa inyo. Assuming na it's unpaid leave, di ba? However, wag po kayong magtatampo assuming that they disallow you to use up the remaining leaves. Why? Kaya nga kayo kailangan eh. Kasi kailangan kayo to turn over. Kung magli-leave din kayo, ano yung ita-turn over?
And at the same time, di ba, let's say, kung nga rin mga vacation leaves ang meron ka pa, di ba? A vacation leave is still discretionary on the part of the company.
Hindi porke paalis ka na, that grants you a special status under the law na, pagpaalis, kailangan automatic na, no.
Automatic approve of my leave.
There's no such thing po. It's still discretionary at the end of the day. So, wag po kayo magtatampo if hindi mapagbigyan yung leave. Now, assuming yung leave convertible to cash, edi you ask for it. At the end of the day, you ask for it. Okay. Now, let's talk about the effects. Kung kayo po makikinig sa advice namin ni Attorney Ramon, what effects can you look forward to?
Okay.
Okay, eto ngayon. Kung naging mabait ka sa limbo.
Okay. Nag-turnover ka.
Nag-turnover ka
Ginawa mo pa rin yung work mo.
Wala kang binaboy sa mga kausap mo. Diba?
Minentor mo yung replacement mo. Okay. What are the effects?
Dahil sa kabutihang loob mo. Ito ang iyong gantimpala. Yan. Well, most definitely magiging madali ang clearance mo. Clearance kasi is the company taking a look at you and your position and saying, okay, wala nang utang to. So, if you did the turnover properly, mas mabilis yung clearance.
I think so.
Diba? And then, usually po, ang clearance, umiikot yan sa departments. O ito bang empleyadong to, may liability pa sa department mo.
Right.
May inaway ka sa kabilang department. Ilang araw tumagal doon. Possible po. Human nature lang. Human nature, di ba?
Or not necessarily na iba-block, but kung wari, if I have a stack of papers, iuhuli ko na lang. Ayokong kasuhin yan.
Human nature. Human nature, di ba?
Yeah.
Yan lang ang nangyayari sa totohanan ng buhay. Next, syempre, kahit na umalis ka na ng kumpanya, huwag mo sabihin hindi magiging significant yung relationship mo with your former employer with respect to your new employers. Kasi ang new employers, may tendency po yan na mag-background check.
Oh, that's true.
Magtatanong yan sa previous employers mo.
That's true.
Now, kung maayos yung exit mo, you did it with respect, with gratitude, and with professionalism, malamang sa malamang maganda po yung feedback na ibibigay niya. Diba? Kamusta naman po itong empleyado ninyong to dati?
Ay, sobrang okay yung empleyado yan. We're actually very sad that he or she is leaving.
Yun ang masarap pakinggan. Na nalungkot sila na pag-alis mo versus, Diyos ko, where shall I begin? Kakabahan po niyan sa sakali. So if you did a smooth transition out, I think you can rely on good referrals down the line.
Right.
Isa pang benefit, kung maayos yung pag-alis mo, makakabisita ka pabalik.
Yes, tama.
Diba?
And why would you want to visit? No, there are a lot of reasons. Like, for example, you're leaving the company to start something on your own. Diba? And if you left on good terms and maayos yung pag-alis nyo, You may even have your old employer as, let's say, you
A
can
client.
a client.
Oo.
You can do business with them.
Or
Diba?
pwedeng supplier mo
Pwede
sila.
mong supplier or ikaw supplier nila. No? So there's so many
Ang daming
there's so many
possibilities.
possibilities. No? So again, you might want to visit later on, or even just to see your peers or whatever, or to consult them again. Diba?
Oo. Oh, we do that most of the time kapag may mga questions which we actually don't know the answer to immediately. Because we left our previous employments ng maayos, we're free to consult our previous bosses as mentors.
Yes, definitely. And they're happy to provide it.
Eh, hindi mo magagawa yan kung medyo binaboy mo yung pag-alis mo. Diba? Eh, mahirap naman.
True.
Finally, yung networks po na na-establish. Assuming na 5 years kang nagtrabaho dito, yung customers, yung suppliers, yung co-workers, all of those are valuable networks na pwede mong itap down the line. Even the network beyond your previous employers will be available to you. If you exit properly. That's the only thing that's needed. Diba? So, I think we covered a lot, Attorney Ramon, no?
Yes, we did.
Do you mind doing a recap for us?
I do not mind. Let's do the recap. So, what are the things that we talked about? We talked about 4 main things. First is, what is your status during the turnover? And ang sabi ni Attorney Erwin, you are still an employee. So, walang pinagkaiba sa normal na employee na hindi pa nagre-resign. You are being paid, so act accordingly. So, Luchiel, if you need to do that report to the board of directors and nagmamakaawa yung manager mo, please, pagbigyan mo na. No? Last ko na lang naman yan.
That's still within your...
It's still your responsibility, actually. Okay?
You're not exempted. Okay? So, from rules, from work, and from restrictions.
Yes. Okay. So, pwede ka rin magkaroon ng violation. So, please, you're still an employee. Okay. Now, what are the things that you should do? First, of course, is to be helpful. Be helpful to everyone. Your boss, your co-workers, and everyone. You can also be helpful by aiding in the transition. So, kasi paalis ka na, you would want to aid everyone in the transition, like making your list of pending jobs and giving them tips and everything.
I think the mindset here is, if you were the one on the receiving end, diba, what would you appreciate having?
Yes.
Para kahit umalis na yung tao, hindi ka mahihirapan mga pa. Nasa na nga pala tong file na to.
Correct.
Or, better yet, ano na yung napag-usapan? Yun yung mahirap eh. Kasi there are some things na hindi lumalabas sa papel.
True.
Correct? Kunwari, the update happened via phone call or email. Yung email, hindi mo binigay. Hindi mo pinakita. Diba?
Right.
So, might as well make it easy for them and whatever you can leave na organized, that would be super appreciated.
Next, you'd want to suggest ways on how to do things or best practices or whatever, and be proactive. Again, this is all in line with aiding in the transition as well. No? So, you'd also want, another thing to do is you'd also want to mentor your replacement. No? So, wag yung hindi porket yan yung kapalit mo, hindi mo siya kaaway.
Hindi.
That person is taking your place. And of course, walang kaalam-alam pa yan, at least in terms of the culture or the context of the company. So, please, try to mentor the replacement para to ease that person into your role. There's walang kawalan sa inyo if you mentor your replacement. Next, now, stuff not to do. No? So,
wait. Yung sa exit interview.
Ay, tama. Oo, yung sa exit interviews.
Try to provide as much context as possible for the company to improve itself.
Be honest. Okay? But don't be
huwag ka man didiin na wala sa lugar.
Just be honest. Okay? Now, what not to do? Yung bahala na kayo dyan attitude. No? Yung hindi, alis na ako, wala na akong pakialam.
It's the Batman doctrine.
Ano yung Batman? Bahala na si Batman. Alright. And next is, please don't withhold or conceal any mga pasabog or whatever. And again, wag nang tayong umiwas sa work. Wag na yung pasa-load. Okay? And lastly, what not to do, don't insist on your terminal leave as a right. No? You can ask for it. And if pinayagan, great.
Wag magtampo pag dininay.
Right.
And they need you there.
True. And that's what the turnover period is all about. Okay? Now, the effects, you get easier clearance, definitely. you get easier referrals,
Mhm.
and you can visit your company later on, or you can have a relationship with them later on professionally
Pwede
or
mamasko,
business.
di ba? Kasama ka pa sa raffle.
Kasama pa ba ako sa Christmas ham? Tsaka sa queso de bola?
Oo.
Pwede. Oh, and also you get access to their networks, and you're still able to get favors from them.
Or you can turn them into business partners down the
Yes.
line, di ba? Either as a client, as a supplier, or as a network
Yep.
provider.
Ayun! Tama ba, Tony?
Yes. So that's it for our teaching points. Now, for most of you, this video was more than enough. And if it makes your life easier, then you're welcome. But there are those of you who will watch this video and end up asking more questions, such as, Attorney, how do we process the resignation? Or, Attorney, what do I look for in the resignation letter? What if I can't handle it? If that's you, then I invite you to check out the Complete Employee Discipline System book, where we teach you a roadmap to handling employee cases, including resignation, from start to finish. Get the book at info.legalguy.ph/discipline today.
To add to that, if you want us to tackle your question in our show, as we did for Luchiel, go to www.legalguy.ph and click the Submit Topic button. Next, of course, we'd like to know what's your biggest takeaway from today's video. So please write it down in the comments and let's talk about it. Last, if you feel we've earned a good rating, please give us a like and subscribe, because it gives us feedback that we're doing a good job and it encourages us to do more.
Now, one last thing. Your character as an employee really reveals itself when it's time to close out this chapter of your employment life. Do you now choose to leave a trail of hassle and stress as you leave? Nag-iwan pa. Or do you want to end your chapter with gratitude and grace, trying to help out everyone wherever you can? I suggest the latter. Despite how you feel about your previous employer, you get to choose what impression you get to leave as an employee. So wasn't that simple?
Now go make better choices.